If you own rental real estate, it's only a matter of time before you're going to have to send in a repair person, a vendor, a third-party service vendor into your property. Maybe it's to fix an appliance. Maybe it's to do work on the HVAC, the furnace, but at some point in time that's going to happen. It's important to remember that the vendor going into that property represents you as the owner. And if they do something wrong in there, fair housing wise, illegal wise, anything questionable, it falls back on you. So you have to do a good job of pre-screening your vendors before you let them into a property. So here's just 3 things to check before you ever let a vendor into your property. Number 1, check their online Google reviews. Google is just fabulous for this because a company can't control their Google reviews. So if this vendor has not done a good job, if the last couple individuals that they have done work for feel they've been overcharged or they've been delayed in getting out to them, you'll read about it on Google. So go to Google before you pick up the phone and call them. Google that company. Take 10 minutes, read the reviews that individuals are saying because that'll give you a great indicator of whether or not this is a company you can trust as you begin to work with them. Secondly, ask them this question. Do you have business liability? Let me pause there. Business liability insurance, meaning if something goes wrong on my property, if you do a bad job, do you have liability for yourself? A business liability coverage that if you mess up, you're going to be covered insurance-wise. You're not going to turn around and sue me. You've got your own insurance in place. And secondly, workman's comp insurance. Workman's comp means, do you have insurance to cover your technicians that you send out to the property? Now, they're probably going to say yes. Every reputable vendor is going to have these docs available to send to you on a moment's notice. So before you send them out to your property, say, that's great, I'm glad you have that. Would you please drop those to me in an email so I can just get you confirm that before I get you scheduled on my property? They should be able to send that to you immediately. Because if they're reputable, they get asked this all the time. And they have it as a saved file that they can hit the send button and it'll be in your inbox in about 10 seconds. So don't let them give you the runaround of, well, we don't have it available or we'll try to dig it up. No, they should have it. They do if they have this in place, they have the documentation to show you. Now, why do you want workman's comp as well? Well, let's pretend you're sending, you call a plumbing company. That plumbing company is going to go out to your property. And that plumbing company just hired a new tech. And they send that tech out to your property. And as that tech is in the property, he's climbing on a ladder and he falls off the ladder, slips and falls and breaks his leg. He could sue his employer, but who else could he sue? You, as the property owner. Now, if his vendor, if his boss has workman's comp in place, that's going to cover him. That's going to ensure that he has coverage so it protects you as the property owner. This is a big deal. This is a big, big deal. You think, well, gosh, does this really happen? Not real often, but if it does happen, and it does happen, when it happens, if the insurance isn't in place, it can be a bad deal. So ensure your vendor has a business liability and workman's comp in place. Now, the third question, which is obvious, how much do you charge? Find out what their rates are. Are they going to charge you to give you a bid? If they go out and they find that more work is needed, do they have discounted rates for more work and service? Find out specifically what their costs are, not just a big overarching dollars per hour kind of a thing. So we, for example, we want to qualify all of our vendors on, number 1, price. We want to get lower than market pricing, and we can do that. Why? Because we give them a lot of work. But ideally, you want lower than market pricing. We qualify them on that. Number 2, we qualify them on quality of work. They've got to do a great job. And number 3, the very important aspect as well is timeliness. How quickly can they get to the job? If they're a week out and the work needs done today, it doesn't matter how cheap they are. You need them out promptly and properly. So you've got to get vendors who are speedy and who are quick that can get out to your property. Vendors are a big deal. We've got a preferred vendor list, and in order for a vendor to get on our preferred vendor list, we do some research on them. We make sure that we have their insurance in place. You need to do the same because you're taking a huge liability and a huge risk if you have a vendor on your property. These are the kind of things that don't happen often, but if they do, they're very, very dangerous. So just be cautious with the vendor you use. It will protect you, it'll protect your tenants, and it will protect your property.